bit of it. I'm kind of fucking up.
It was great. It looked like it was legit.
Yeah, that's kind of, my passion beyond, plumbing, and I love music, man. Anything you give me keys or a string, I'll give you a song.
Well, Hunter, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making the time. I know that we've been trying to go back and forth on DMs and trying to get coordinating, but like you said it before we got started, it's been a crazy start of the year for you, which is great to hear. Is the whole industry by you, is it busy in general? Everybody's doing well?
It is. It is. Last year, I think, was really slow, just on the month of August. That was, I do not want to see another August month again.
That's odd to see a summer month
podcast, and they were telling me the same thing. So that kind of made me feel a little better. As everyone kind of took a hit last August, but man, right now it's booming, man. The first month this year, I sold $200,000 worth of work. This fucking first month.
What was
just me and my helper?
What was the funniness that was going on in August? What happened in August last year that kind of contributed to a quiet month? Or I guess it would have been in maybe June or July.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, man. The phone wasn't ringing. So, when the phone's not ringing, or all of our projects were kind of wrapping up in August. So at least we had, the remodels we had to finish up. So that was, thank God we had that. But the service just kind of took a dump there for a little bit. I don't know if it was me or just the market, but yeah, it was kind of odd. So I just took that time to, dial in things, implement certain things, kind of evolve the business, so to speak. And, if work ain't coming to you, you got to go get it. Right. So
it's interesting that you bring it up the service side, because I think a lot of guys here, and you're in Southern California, I'm in Toronto, and you get a lot of guys in our neck of the woods here that are basically living off of service right now, because a lot of new construction kind of took a back seat. I think everybody's just being cautious about spending their dollars on pulling the trigger on new construction, but service is service. You need it regardless. So it's just like, if you've got a rental property, you've got your own individual personal property, things start to fail or need service in general, and that the business is there for these people.
Yeah, sometimes they don't got a choice. I mean, the leaks, who you going to call,
Yeah, let me share the information here, Hunter. It's Hunter Douglas, right?
Yes.
HD Plumbers is here recording, and to reach him, obviously on Instagram is under @HD Plumbers, and you can get him on his email at hd.plumbers5225@gmail.com, and on social, you can reach him on all socials. You're going to find him on IG, on TikTok, all over the place. And then his phone number to reach him to get a hold of him for, just pick his brain or give him a call to hire and take care of some business. 951-545-1679. Let me do a quick shout out. I got to do a quick shout out. I'm wearing Sam the Plumber's hoodie. He gave me it a couple of weeks back. I passed by his job site. I'm sure you know Sam the Plumber as well too. You probably are chatting with a bunch of guys up here in Canada.
I do. Yes. A bunch of guys from Canada. There's Grant with I think it's called GBP Plumbing.
Yep.
And then Vader the Plumber.
Yep.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's going to come on the show eventually. We had a big turnout where we had about 27 plumbers join, and we had a little networking event, which was amazing here, and everyone loved it, and it was great. Everyone was just talking shop. We did that for our 500 show, which was amazing. So I'm wearing Sam's hoodie. Thank you so much, Sam, for the hoodie. I appreciate it, and then also the tour that he gave me on the current job that he was at. I also want to do a quick shout out to Stott HVAC. He actually came by and took care of a little detail of mine that I needed done. I needed a furnace smoke alarm shutoff unit attached to make it a legal second unit dwelling. You got to throw this unit in there, and Ian came by, took care of it, no problem. And we had a few chats about certain things, and then as he was packing up, he showed me a little zip tie trick. I don't even know if you know this one, or maybe a lot of plumbers know this, but he said it was a Sparky that taught him this trick, where normally you get a bag of zip ties, and the go-to thing, and I've done this several times, is you just X-Acto knife cut off the top, and then you get your zip tie, right? But then what happens is you only use one or two, and then the rest of them just fall out over the course of traveling or whatever. But he says, no. You put a little slit in the middle of the bag, and then you can reach in and just grab one, and then you can shake the bag, and none of them fall out. And I'm like, that's just pure genius. So I got to share that. So Ian, thank you very much for that little tip there. And I'm sure other people are going to be doing that tip. So I love that. Unleash your voice on the Construction Life podcast community. Are you passionate about the world of construction, trades, and all things building related? The Construction Life podcast wants to hear from you. Leave us a review, share your thoughts, insights, and experiences on your favorite podcast channel. Your review fuels our mission to create engaging and informative content for the construction community. Your feedback is the motor that holds our podcast together. Share your thoughts, rate us, and let the construction community know why the Construction Life is your go-to podcast. Visit our website and check out the nearly 500 tradespeople and construction professionals listed on the site. Connect with all of them. Check us out at www.theconstructionlife.com for additional content, behind-the-scenes exclusives, and valuable resources. Dive deeper into the construction world with articles, guest profiles, and more. Follow us on Instagram at TCL_The Construction Life. Follow us on TikTok under the same handle, and tweet us at TCL Construction. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our link tree, and find exclusive discounts for listeners. Link is in the IG bio. Join the conversation on Facebook, the Construction Life community. But over to you now, Hunter. You're a youngin', man. How old are you?
I am 25 years old.
And how long you been plumbing in the business, in the trade?
I've been plumbing for, I think it's coming up on 7 years, I think. Right? No, 6. 6 or 7. I think I was either 18 or 19. And the helper I have right now was the kid who actually got me into plumbing. And I fell in love right away. I started my business 3 years ago. We're 3 years in, so I was 22, and we're getting it done, man.
Why is it like I'm trying to figure out when you actually said to yourself that I want to get into trades and this is what I want to do. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Was it all the red car idea? Was the red car idea was always pointing towards plumbing, or were there other trades on the table that you were considering at that time?
Well, no, plumbing was the very last thing I wanted to do. I just, I hear plumbing and I hear poop. You know what I mean, I don't want to deal with shit.
Yeah.
And I still don't. I don't drain clean or anything, and it keeps me busy year round. There's guys that only do drain cleaning.
They love it. They love it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I was framing a little bit with my buddy Trevor's dad. I was doing that, and then I was welding as well because my dad was an iron worker for 15, 20 plus years, and then he just moved to the inspection side, started his business with that. So I think he was all about, I'm kind of done, beating the shit out of my body. I kind of want to use more of my brain now, So yeah. That's kind of how I fell into it. Being
an iron worker is a tough gig, man. It takes its toll, right? Like there's a lot of physical and mental attached to
concrete, roofing, man. Those jobs I would never want to do.
They're tough ones, right?
Out here, there's no way.
And I'm assuming that there is probably a lack of people getting into those trades. But are you seeing a pinch in the plumbing industry? You're seeing fewer and fewer people coming in.
I do see a few people my age coming in. Just a few though, not really. I mean, maybe 3 to 5 people that I know that are getting into it. But I feel like it's my goal, to help that a little bit, to encourage more people. I want young people to look at me and be not just inspired, but say, hey man, I want to do what you do. Clearly you didn't need a degree to be where you are today. Shit, I thought you were going to end up in jail. I hear that all the time. And, I work at it every day, and I want to be an example for those younger guys, to come in and, think it's not just serious all the time. It is also very fun. And I fucking love what I do, man. I really do.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that you didn't need a degree, or somebody said that you didn't need a degree, but the thing is, construction in itself on site is a degree.
It
Like
is.
you're constantly learning how to run a business, how to navigate sales, how to deal with customer satisfaction and dissatisfaction, dealing with employees, whether they show up or not, improvement in employees, building structure. You're understanding other trades as well too. So it's like, tell me that that's not a degree of life. You know what I mean? Like you're going in there and you're
Oh,
just you're picking up like it's a new semester, man. That's all it
yeah.
is, man. Every single time it's a new semester, so you start all over. So, and you're definitely doing that. But when you went in, I guess you had two avenues that you're looking at. You're going in and you're starting the trade. Then starting the trade turns into a business, but then turning the business turns into an influencer. How you juggling? Like, how did you juggle all three of those hats coming into the industry? Did you fall into the influencing side of things? Did it just naturally come to you where it's like, I might as well document this, and then this is how I've done it. People are reacting to it. It's working great. I'm getting messages from people asking me questions. I don't mind answering them. Did you enjoy that part?
I did. I use social media as just I started it as just before and after photos, just to showcase my work to customers. Hey, this is what it looks like before. This is what it'll look like when I'm done. And then I noticed there was a whole plumbing community on Instagram, and and I was just watching these videos. I'm like, why the hell am I not doing this? I gotta hop on this. And I did it, and it fucking dogs. I I did it, and I've never looked back, man. It's been great. I mean, customers love it. They love it. It's really just a conversation starter, and they know you're gonna do the job to your best capabilities because you're gonna showcase it. You're gonna film it, right? So um, we're trying to help people.
Do you get
So
like Hunter? Do you get some customers thinking, "I don't get it, man"? Like you're literally changing a hose valve, and you're cutting off a faulty leaking valve, and then you're cleaning it up, and you're soldering a new elbow on it and a new valve, and
yeah,
voila, that's it. And our customers looking at this going, I don't get why you've got so many people interested in looking at this. And I'm like, they're looking in interest because they're curious about how to do it first of all and how it should be done, and they want to be complimentary and positive about it. But I remember getting a lot of customers going, I don't get it. I do not get it. I go, well, you got to be in the construction to understand it. That's why you don't get it. But there's a value in showing quality workmanship. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's funny because I swear the most simple things um, that we do say changing an angle stop. I filmed changing an angle stop, and it ended up getting like 50 million views.
Yeah.
It's freaking angle stop, and it's easy. I charge what, $70, $65,
It's an
and then
everyday
now I'm
routine for
getting
you.
paid from those videos,
Yeah.
and it's just more income and income, and yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild.
Do you know anybody, like I was just curious about this myself when I was kind of just scrolling through a little bit of social media today. Is there any plumbers out there, any trades that you know of that are actually doing their page and they're basing it off of building code? Because what I see is that you get a lot of people that are online doing their posting, and you do this and a lot of other people do it. They go that extra mile. We set up our vans and trucks a certain way. We do the job or the task a certain way. We kind of use better products and better techniques and just make it so then it lasts longer. But I wonder if there's anybody out there in digital space that's actually just doing pure code, because I think it's not enough. I think you actually have to do it a little bit better so then it will last longer. But do you know of anybody that's actually just doing the bare minimum on building code?
Um, yeah. I mean, there's you see a bunch of dumb shit on Instagram, to be honest, and I mean, the reason why certain videos go so viral is because you do one thing one way, but there's going to be 1,000 people telling you did it wrong,
Yep.
or they'll do it their way, or why did you do this? You're an idiot. You're a hack. You're an influencer. You don't know what the hell you're doing. And to be honest, Instagram actually made me a better plumber. I actually give a shit about the tools I use. I give a shit about the material I use to prep my pipe. I used to not even ream my pipe.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I thought it was a waste of time. And my boss at the time, he goes, "No, man, you really do need to." And I didn't listen to him, but now that I own my own business, I actually, I care about the warranties and stuff like that. And I'm not perfect. There's some things I don't know, and I end up finding out from social media. So it's just a win-win. I mean, dude, it's networking and learning how to work and to talk to people.
Attention HVAC dealers. CMPX is around the corner and Redmond Distributing has an exciting event planned for you. Join us at The Pint, conveniently located attached to the Convention Center on Thursday, March 21st from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are free and available for all HVAC dealers, installers, and techs. Meet their dynamic team, enjoy food and beverages, network, discover their new products, win prizes, and enjoy the entertainment. It's going to be an event you won't want to miss. Head over to their Instagram bio at Redmond Distributing to reserve your tickets. It's basically a training seminar, and there's going to be the jokers out there that are just going to talk smack. Let them. Yep. It doesn't matter. You don't have to engage everybody. I don't do it anymore. I just engage with the people who are asking me a respectful question or leaving a respectful comment. It's as simple as that. If you want to instigate and start a fight, then by all means do it, but you ain't going to get it from me.
Yeah. Yeah,
simple as that.
Dude, there's so many people. There's so many people I grew up with that I don't even talk to anymore because they think I'm like weird, or I'm like trying to be this like fucking famous person on Instagram. That I'm not. I barely even show my face.
Yeah,
I'm just showcasing my work. That's all I'm doing. People think I'm like buying my followers. I'm like, what are you, nuts? I'm not that desperate.
Is it? It's got to be, Hunter. It's got to be because they can't grow their following, but they're not understanding the ingredient that's attached to growing that following. You're just doing the work. The hands are there, the tools are there, and the pipe that needs to be taken care of is there. So, I mean, you could have fun with it and put your face into that video, whatever. But if you want to focus just on the work, guess what? You're going to get a lot of followers. That's just how it's going to work. Simple as that.
When I post and I'm not talking shit on people who post their face. But they're not making it about themselves.
No.
When people are showing their face and making it about themselves and telling them how they got into the trade when, no one knows who the hell you are because you haven't proven yourself yet. It's just, it's weird, man. Some people come on here and think they're going to be like famous or something. It's weird.
Which brings me up to a point that I want to bring up because I'm always curious that how much are the younger trades getting into the industry to become that celebrity instead of to become a good tradesperson?
More than half. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I believe you. I probably would go as far as 2/3 are more interested in trying to get that celebrity status versus that trade status, which I think you got to do the work, man. Just get the work done. Learn the work. Learn the trade. Understand the other people that have come before you. Then that whole celebrity side is just going to come out of the woodwork. For literally, it will.
Yeah, and same with the money. The money follows too. It's about your work and your work ethic. The money's going to come. Don't fucking worry about the money. I started with nothing.
Yeah.
I bought a stolen piece of shit GMC from Mexico. I didn't know it was stolen until I took it to my mechanic. But I started like that.
There's a beginning for everything at that point. But these guys don't understand. They just want to get to the finish line.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because
I'm trying to enjoy the process somewhat.
Yeah, and I'm curious. I think I kind of know the answer on this, man. Out in California, you ever seen a plumber who doesn't have Milwaukee tools?
Not really.
Not really, eh? They're all Milwaukee. They're all
me
red.
now. I guess I'm using Flex now, but
are you? But then you still got to shift gears when you're kind of pressing stuff because Flex don't make any attachments for pressing.
Not yet.
Here's the question for you, Hunter, though. Yeah. If they did, would the plumber change? That's a difficult one, man.
It is. Dude, honestly, it's really their batteries for me.
Okay. They're good. They're good quality.
They're freaking awesome. And I heard the other day, I haven't seen them yet, but I heard they're making attachments where you can actually put a Flex battery on a Milwaukee or a DeWalt or a Skill, whatever. They're making attachments for that. I just heard it. I haven't seen it yet.
Wow.
But a framer told me the other day. I was like, really? That's really smart, actually.
It's actually really smart because I've been preaching so many times on this show that there should just be a universal battery platform for all the tools. So it doesn't matter what tool you're using, you just slap on a battery. That's as simple as that. But I guess that it's all proprietary, brand recognition, all that crap, and then they just want to keep everybody on the same platform, right?
Yeah, and I hear from a lot of framers, excuse me, um, that the DeWalt batteries actually used to be better.
Curious on what happened. I'm very, very curious. Something happened.
True or not, but he goes, yeah, I mean, we're interested in the batteries. I mean, people just pretty much give away the tools now. It's all about the batteries. Unless it's corded, you know.
Yeah, it's all accessories. That's where all the money's being made now. That is because and that's something that you got to educate young tradespeople. You got to understand that you don't need everything to become a plumber to get started. You need some things key, but you don't need everything, right? Yeah. Eventually you'll get to that.
Yeah.
Or at least work with somebody.
I got to a point where I felt like I was like, oh man, nothing can stop me. And then all my tools get stolen out of my truck. Ouch. And I'm like, oh, wow. That was just a slap in the face. I got to humble my ass now.
You ain't the only one. I've heard in the last 2 weeks. I think I've heard about 4 trades that mostly trailers. Trailers have been broken into and just completely cleared out of everything, gone. And it sucks, man. That's just really sucks. And what I know from the industry, what's really heart-wrenching to hear, it's another tradesperson that's stealing this shit.
Really? I caught the guy.
You caught the guy.
It was a tow truck. I didn't catch him because I couldn't. My neighbor's cameras, the light gave off a weird glare. But I know what a tow truck looks like. All the fancy bells and whistles, you know. That was a fucking tow truck, man. I was so pissed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hate it because you're stealing someone's livelihood and you don't know what their situation is or who they're providing for, and now they're supposed to go to work the next day and they can't perform, which means they can't make money, so they can't pay their bills. Like the trickle effect by stealing tools off of a tradesperson is just paramount, right? You shouldn't do it. I understand why some people why it's out there, but they shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can't stand it. So, but it's heart wrenching. And I did hear a good story when I was doing the concrete show, and they were telling me that they were fortunate enough to have an air tag in one of the bags. And they actually
that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, and they followed it.
In my vacuums, I'll hide it anywhere.
They'll followed it. They followed it. They followed it. They tracked it down. They contacted the police. The police warned them, you cannot confront. You cannot enter. You cannot. It was all these rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. We have to investigate. You got to get a warrant. They finally were just sitting on it, waiting and waiting. And then finally, the police came, and then they go, okay, we have authorization. So the police went in there, and all of a sudden they go, listen, ping your air tag to confirm that this is your stuff. So then they pinged it, and sure enough, it pinged back. And they're like, yep, this is your stuff. And then they arrested the guy, and that was it. But they got most of the stuff back. They still lost some stuff. But they showed me a picture of a huge cube van full of, Bosch, Hilti, some of the most expensive toys. And you're talking about a concrete company. So you're talking big SDS guns. You're talking, lots of accessories, all kinds of stuff. Like you're talking probably over $100,000 worth of gear that was taken, and it was just furious. But it was, if that air tag wasn't there, man. So of course, once the police cloud, dissipated, they went out and bought a bunch more air tags and started tagging everything, hiding everything and everything, right? So it was just like, we have to do this.
And they last over a year.
Yeah, so it's a good move to do it, man. I want to get into like you're a plumber, but you also take care of gas. And how's it work in California? Like, is it all different tickets?
What do you mean?
Well, you also take care of gas installs, don't you, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So gas generally falls under HVAC here. Plumbing falls under. Yeah. So does it crosses over there?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah.
So you can handle.
I can install an entire home of gas if I wanted to.
Really? Huh? Kind of makes sense, man, if you think about it.
Matter of fact, that's how I started. We were just doing, track homes, the whole thing, ground up.
Really?
Yeah, we'll just stub it out for the FAUs, and they kind of take it from there.
You correct me if I'm wrong, because I try to stay away from news media these days. Ever since the funny years, and I don't want to pay attention to bought and paid for journalism. I thought California was just becoming all electrified, and are you guys converting homes away from gas as well too?
It's getting there. Yeah, Encinitas is if you're building even I think even remodels I heard you're not allowed to do gas anymore in Encinitas. It's all electric.
Wow. Do they realize that that's not exactly efficient in the long
Yeah.
term? They don't realize
No, they
that, right?
don't realize that. And I try to tell people that all the time. Do you know how much power an electric tankless pulls?
It just sucks.
If you don't have solar, man, you're gonna be pissed. I mean, just my hot tub runs almost $600 a month. I mean, it's nuts.
Are you gonna like? Are you being asked? Or are you thinking should we prepare for this to try to get ahead of it? Saying that the market's going to basically tell us that we're going to have to install all these things, so we're going to have to be educated on them. We're going to have to do all these installs
For electric.
for electric.
Um,
We
I'm
get
kind of both ways, man. I see why people will do it. They think it's better for the environment, but they don't know where all these, Tesla batteries and shit are coming from.
there. Well, the thing is, and I've always said it. Listen, I'm not an EV guy. Just plain and simple as that. I've never supported them. You'll never see me drive one. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It's just like if you want to talk about saving the planet, please factor in from the moment that the product's being produced, not from the moment that the product's sold, because there's a whole upfront cost and then there's also a back end cost. I'm sure that we've seen a lot of videos talking about burials of wind blades, turbines, and all kinds of stuff like that because you can't recycle those things. So they're just being buried on the ground. But yet these are supposed to be all energy efficient and saving
Really?
the planet.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's like look it up. You can look it up and you'll see blades and blades and blades and blades just being buried underneath the earth because you can't do anything with it at all. Once it's already run its life, you can't do anything. So my question is always like batteries, man. We look at tools and you got batteries, and when they have end of life, every tool battery has an end of life, right? And we're being asked to kind of give it in so it could be recycled somehow. But nobody really talks about that recycling process of that thing. And then all of a sudden you get a whole new battery coming out. And tool brands are always presenting new batteries. This one's charges faster, lasts longer, lighter, all kinds of stuff like that. So, I mean, give me all the information so then I can make the right decision and I'll decide where it's going to be. That's how I look at things.
Yeah. Do you like solar?
I like solar, but there's a lot of upfront costs to get it going. And it's kind of like geothermal. Geothermal tried to make its way here as well, too. And again, it's a lot of upfront cost. So I always said that, sure, you can install the solar, you can install the geothermal. You as a homeowner in your lifetime might not see the return at that moment, but the next owner of that property will see the return, which is great because now it's starting to be efficient. It makes a lot of sense, right? But then when on solar, I start questioning, trust me, I remember, what was it, 7 or 8 years ago, Elon introduced the solar shingles and he had that subdivision, that cul-de-sac where he had 4 homes and he built it. But nothing ever came from that. Like I never saw it go to market. I never saw it being marketed and promoted and getting out there. So it's just like, I look at it like there's.
It never came out?
I don't know if it came out. I don't know a single tradesperson that has shown me that product, that they've installed that product. I haven't seen anything. I saw the presentation. I saw the numbers that he was showing about how much consumption or how much electricity they were producing as a result of this. I saw all that stuff, which is all great. But then again, in the factory testing is one thing, on site reality is another thing. That's what it is. Like we're still waiting for the Cybertruck to come up here in Canada, and I know that a lot of tradespeople put the order in.
Dude, I've been seeing them on trailers, man. They're breaking down on the freeway all the time on 15.
I just said when they announced that vehicle, I just said, listen, I will reserve my opinion until I see it on a real construction site in the dead of winter in Canada, because we get harsh winters here. And I want to see it, how it's going to perform there. I don't care about it pulling an F-150 or whatever it was factory setting up a hill. I don't care about that. I want to see it on a job site hauling material in the dead of winter and then tell me what the results of that vehicle are. Then I will tell you that it works or it doesn't work. But we'll see.
I don't think I'll see it for a long time.
I think it's going to come and go.
It takes balls for a guy to show up to a job site on that. I mean, you're going to get made fun of. There's a target on you at that point, right? I think one target would be the price point,
right? Like that's just a very expensive vehicle to have as a tradesperson. I understand that a lot of trade vehicles, whether they're vans or full size pickup trucks, crew cabs, or whatever, long box, like they're starting to get six-figure costs. You start adding accessories and all kind of stuff, and it's like you got to really understand what your business numbers are all about for you to justify that. Right. Yeah. I respect a lot more if tradespeople were buying used vehicles and running a business off of that and calculating what that maintenance on that used vehicle is versus a brand new vehicle and what their lease monthly payments are. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that the used vehicle is going to be a better option for your business. That's just me saying this, right? But I grew up on buying a pickup truck for like less than $1,000 when we could. You found a used one. It had its kinks, it had its ticks, it had all its things like that, but it still ran. You know, to the point where I had some vehicles where you pop the clutch, you know, to get it started. Like that's just how it was. And by the way,
Jimmy Ray, you kick the side of the fucking tank and it kicked on. Yeah.
You thought you were like super mechanic because you had a hammer in your hand and you hit a certain thing a certain way and you're like, hey, it started. And it wasn't because of that. It just started because it finally started. But I mean, those days are all gone now. Everybody wants brand new, pristine, six-figure pickup truck, fully loaded, all kinds of bells and whistles. And I'm like, you do not need that stuff. I'm sorry. And right there on that top of that list is a Cybertruck. I'm sorry to say it's a Cybertruck's up there, man. He's a smart marketing man. He's a smart promoter. He's a smart businessman. Whether the product is good, I reserve my judgment to see it in the dead of winter in Canada. That's all. On a job site, in a mud pit, frozen. Yeah. I want to see it.
And he has such a big audience where, you know, if you're going to bring it into the blue collar where people actually, you know, test things out and figure out how it's working, it's pretty funny that, you know, it's just going to get shut down, you know. But and I'm guilty of it. You know, I got a $100,000 truck right now, and it's a used 2022 diesel. I did the whole gas thing. I'm done with it. This thing's gonna last my whole life if I take the emissions out of it. But hey, I was looking at electric too. There was a company called Atlas Motors, if you've ever heard of it.
No.
I don't think they've ever sold vehicles yet, but they've been working on it for a long time, and they look pretty badass. I mean, I was looking at it as like, okay, let's try to not pay for gas anymore, right? Because the prices at the time were shit in LA. It was like $7 a gallon.
Jesus, man.
It was nuts. I mean, diesel's $5 a gallon, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it right now because my diesel is freaking unstoppable.
Introducing the new air-cooled 26 RCA, the quietest, most powerful, and most durable generator with 109 amps max power on liquid propane. Equipped with the first-to-market low-oil shutoff switch, it's the quietest 26 kilowatt on the market with a 56 dB at exercise. The 89% larger ceramic fiberglass insulated muffler and acoustic foam insulated inlet duct deliver the best sound quality on the market at exercise. Its larger muffler reduces back pressure by 62%, eliminating restrictions in exhaust to optimize pressures for peak performance. Its CH1006 engine with 20% higher compression ratio and variable ignition timing optimized by fuel delivers the most power in its class. It's also equipped with advanced engine tuning with an air cleaner assembly relocated directly over the carburetor, which optimizes airflow to deliver enhanced performance. When it comes to reliability, nothing beats a Kohler home generator. Get the facts and find your generator at Effect Electric Limited on IG.
I can show you out front. I'll actually take you out front while you're talking.
Yeah, no, sure. It was funny. I'm glad that you're saying that diesel's cheaper because our government here's done the reverse. They ended up making diesel more expensive here because more people were getting diesel vehicle. And diesel vehicles are better vehicles for tradespeople. Just like that's fact at that point.
Yeah, it does kind of flip. Sometimes I'll see gas more expensive, and then sometimes diesel will be more expensive. It's kind of weird, but you know.
But it's also better for the engine and for the work that it has to perform. Yeah, it's a big boy. Yeah. He's frozen right now. Uh-oh. Maybe the signal. Hunter, I think you got to get closer to the Wi-Fi. Maybe he's walking back to the Wi-Fi. Hopefully. But it's like, there's a perfect dodge. There it is. Yeah, it just froze for a second there.
I never really liked working out of a van.
There we go.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I love working out of this thing. So, but yeah,
Whatever
I can
works for
see.
your business,
I know
man.
what you mean.
Yeah. No, whatever works for your business. What how you want to run it, it totally makes a lot of sense at that point.
Yeah.
We lost you just there for a bit for a second there. No, and it's kind of
And
good to it's good to talk to you because you're there, right? And it's just funny how you're getting people that are not in the construction industry making policies that are changing the construction industry, not in my opinion, for the better. You know what I mean? If we really wanted to sit down and talk about for the better of the industry and for the better of the homeowner, there's other options on the table, man. It's as simple as that.
yeah,
Are
100%.
are you guys being forced to install heat pumps? Are they coming in as well?
No, not yet.
Not yet, eh? That's probably going to be coming down the pipe as well too. They're trying to do it
Yeah.
here.
In Canada.
Yeah, yeah. They're being sneaky. Our little government, as any government is, being very sneaky. They're trying to offer it by incentives, right? So then if you buy it, you get some rebates and all this other crap. But then there's a bunch of strings that are attached to all those incentives. So what's the point at that point, right? I look at it like I think every homeowner should have the right to do whatever they want as long as it makes the home more efficient. But they should be able to look at the global landscape to find out what other countries are doing better, what other products are being used, not what the government, who's never been on a job site, thinks that we should be doing. You guys need to just get out of here because you guys don't know what you're talking about. It's as simple as that. But that's the government. I don't want to get into that conversation.
Another big thing is going on over here is those heat pumps, which I've actually never installed one. I bid on a few. They didn't like the price, so I didn't end up doing it. But I got my old boss just peeled off of the company he was working with, and he's starting to put him in. He put one in his own house. So I want to learn how to do that because there's a lot of people wanting those right now.
They want them for the incentives. That's the problem, right? I'm curious about, have you had a conversation with him about how it's doing in his house? Is it doing well?
Not yet.
Okay, so he hasn't really
I kinda
seen
cut off
it?
the conversation really, but
Yeah.
yeah, I am going to talk to him either today or tomorrow and kind of pick his brain a little bit.
I've had plenty of plumbers. I've had plenty of HVAC guys on the show, and I think there's probably been maybe one or two that are just saying, you know what, at some point, that's going to be the only option on the table to use. You won't be able to use an AC unit anymore. You're going to have to use a heat pump, and most people are going to just buy that heat pump, put it in, and all of a sudden use that for your AC needs, and then possibly some of your heating needs at that on the other end there, right? But here in Canada, we have the whole temperature thing. That's where the argument is, right? So again, I go back to I don't like people that have never been on the job site dictating on what we should do on the job site.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I'm just trying to look at this going, listen, I'd rather speak to somebody who actually has some mud on their boots instead of pristine, clean hard hat that has a government sign on it. Like, I don't want to speak to you because you don't know what we're going through. You don't.
Yeah.
I'm not being offensive here. I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I just like you don't. And if your assistant gave you exactly brand new safety vest that still has the creases in it from the bag that it's come out of, like I don't want to see a safety vest that has creases in it. And I don't want you to get some intern to iron out those creases. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that to happen because it just keeps reinforcing the fact that you don't know fuck all. So you shouldn't be here telling me that this is how it should be done. I rather you speak to the force, the workforce, and get what they think should be done, right? Don't try to manipulate what they should say. Get them to actually be honest about everything. And then we'll get further. That's just the bottom line. You'll get a lot further and you'll have healthy, smart homes that'll help people. But listen, man, it's really simple. Government just needs to get out of the way. And then the industry can flourish.
Yeah, they do.
Simple as that,
They
man.
do. And I'm starting to see some weird, solar and SDG&E kind of changing the game up, changing the rules, They used to be, you get solar and they like pay you for it, but that's long gone now. They already hooked everyone. So now they're, I don't know, dude. I look at it as a big scheme. It's just a big scheme.
And you know what? All you young tradespeople out there that are listening, you have the right to question. You have the right to question. You have your right to research and do your own homework. And by all means, I encourage you that if you get an
You can have your own
opportunity,
opinion.
yeah, to go to certain trade events. I know that IBS just happened in Vegas there, so it's like you should be looking at certain trade
Hey,
events
did
to
you go
go
to that?
there. Yeah, yeah. I didn't end up going there. I was just too busy going on. Did you end up going down there?
No, I didn't. I wish I did. I was at AHR though. That
Yeah.
was cool. It was
I,
kind of overwhelming.
yeah.
That was my first trade show, but yeah, I
But
might be going to the one in Pomona this weekend. It's the Flow Expo.
but it's good to
Might check
rub
that out.
elbows, right? It's good to be around other
There's a shooting
tradespeople.
range down there. I gotta test out my new piece.
You got to test out what? Sorry?
What's that?
You got to test out what?
I said, plus there's a shooting range down the street from it. I gotta test out my new piece. So
But more of these young trades need to take
I
up.
had this guy try to break into my house a couple weeks ago, and yeah, he snuck up on me, man. I didn't like that.
Man, you got cameras. Everything's fine now, right? Well, then again, it's not really fine.
Dude, no.
Yeah. I wanna get into a little bit
Yeah,
of
'cause I live
plumbing.
in the middle of nowhere out here.
So it's easy for someone to show up on your property there without even realizing it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty dark. It's super quiet out here. Yeah, yeah. But we got the neighborhood has cameras now. We all have cameras, so we're good now. But
The problem with cameras is that
yeah,
it's after the fact, right?
yeah.
Can you
We
hear
had to
me?
get a restraining order on the guy because we were on the phone with the cops, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go outside and beat this guy's ass. He's trying to break into my house, man. And they're like, no, you can't do that unless you have a restraining order. I'm like, what? What the hell, man?
You
What am I
can't.
just supposed to let him in my house? Hey, man, take my shit. You know,
So you got to get a
this is
restraining
wild, man.
order.
California,
That's
California, it's
it's.
tough.
I thought there was like a lot of people are leaving California.
They are, they are. We almost did. If it wasn't for our families, I would have been gone.
Would you be up
Sad to
for?
say,
Would you be up for setting up shop elsewhere in another state?
I would be. I would be out probably in Missouri or Idaho.
You think it'd be a challenge for you to get started up again, or like would it be easy enough to get started because you already got the knowledge of starting things from?
I can take it anywhere, and I truly believe that I can take it anywhere and be where I am in 2 years if I started.
Probably, for sure, you
And
could.
I just had to do it again. I had to restart because I did relocate. I'm in the Riverside County now, so now I service San Diego and Riverside County. You know,
How far is your radius? How far will you go to do some work or service or anything like that?
um, I would say it goes probably 100 miles. I drive more than 100 miles a day.
That's a big run, man.
It is.
Yeah, either way, right? By the time you get there, you're going an hour there, an hour back, and then the work, scope. That's a long day, no?
Yeah, but it's not for like a toilet down in
No,
San
no,
Diego.
no,
You know what I mean? It's
no.
like a water heater or like a remodel or a new build. Something it's gonna be worth doing, you know.
What do you
And
pref-
that's just to keep myself busy.
What do you
I'm sure
prefer?
I'll narrow that down as I grow.
What do you prefer, Hunter? Do you prefer new builds, remodels, servicing? Like, what do you like, Dan? Or does it depend on the day, depend on the client, depend on the location?
It I'm really, to be honest, I'm trying to slowly phase out of service and repair and
Okay.
go back to where we started building track homes. That's what I want. It's people have their own thought process on that, dealing with developers and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I just want to run pipe all day. I want to be in the trenches all day. I don't want to go job to job to job and, you know, lay out my tools, pack up, clean up. I want to be on a job for months, man. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, you know, learn how the business side works because we know we can do the plumbing. It's just learning how to compete at that point.
So, Hunter, where are you getting the business side information from?
Um,
You learning it day by
Uh,
day, trial and error? Are you asking around online? Are you asking people in your area, older trades
that's
that have
pretty
gone
big
through it?
trial and error.
Yeah.
My parents did help me out a little bit, but they're kind of in a different world since it's commercial inspection. Um, but they help me out with taxes and stuff like that. They'll point me in the right direction. As for business, man, yeah, like you said, trial and error.
Yep.
You figure it out. It takes time.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Vesta Water Heaters. Experience Vesta's cutting-edge condensing technology, providing endless on-demand hot water. These tankless units are known for their reliability, straightforward installation, and energy efficiency, making it a preferred choice for both HVAC installers and homeowners alike. To learn more, contact Redmond Distributing, Ontario's trusted HVAC supplier. Explore more at www.redmonddistributing.com.
And I'm still not perfect. Shit, I make mistakes every day.
You're going to be making mistakes next week, next month, next year. It's just simple as that. That's how it works.
But I make a point. I will not go to sleep unless I learn something new, whether it's social media, whether it's my business, whether it's plumbing, whether it doesn't matter. I'm not going to bed until I learn something new that day. And if you do that for years, you're gonna evolve.
Yeah. What do you think, Hunter, is the biggest fear that this up and coming generation has coming into construction? What are they worried about the most?
That's a good question, actually.
Are they intimidated to speak to someone like you? Or are they intimidated to speak to somebody that has already figured it out? Are they concerned about how they're going to be portrayed?
Maybe. I don't. I hope not. I hope people can come up to me and ask me whatever they want, and I'm going to try to answer their question as best as I can. The biggest fear. Honestly, the biggest fear in our industry is trying to serve everyone. There's too many people to serve. There's too much demand. Not enough supply. Nowhere even near. I mean, dude, I don't take every single job. I feel out the job. If I don't have a good vibe of the job, whether it's the person or the repair or whatever, I'm out. I'm referring you to someone else. Sorry. You don't like it? I'm sorry, but this company I refer you to, they'll take care of you.
What's your reasoning behind deciding to say no? Because it's very true. You should learn to say no, but is it just the person's personality, their character, or you're concerned that
is a very big
yeah
that's huge.
Yeah.
And I know you wrote down a few questions I had. What was one of them?
What do you mean? My questions later on? My 12 questions later on?
Yeah. What the hell? There was one. What turns you on and off in construction?
Yeah.
I literally wrote off dash people. The people will drive me nuts.
You're not wrong, man.
And people give me shit people give me shit for charging just $100 for an on-site estimate. You might have your own view on that, and there's a reason. I don't care about the $100. Shit, it costs me more money to get to your house than $100. I don't care about that. The point to charging is you cut out all that. It's fucked up to say, but you cut out all the cheapos.
No, it's not fucked up to say.
If you don't want to pay for me to show up, it's $100 for me to give an on-site estimate. You can send me pictures and stuff, and I'll give you a ballpark estimate for free. But if you want me showing up, you're going to pay me. And if you don't want to do that, then you don't have to. You can go hire Johnny the handyman. I don't give a shit. But he's going to charge you $150. I actually had a conversation the other day about this. I told this guy I'd charge him $250 to change out a widespread faucet. And he goes, "Oh man, but I can get this price for $150." I go, "Oh, no shit. That's a great price. You should take that price."
Them.
He goes, "Well, yes. No, I mean he's not licensed. He's not insured. He's not he doesn't do good work." And I'm like, exactly, exactly.
So you just
So
answered
you
your
can
own question. Yeah.
or you can hire Johnny.
Yeah.
It's up to you, man.
And and we're not saying that all the plumbers out there that are named Johnny are like that. I'm not saying that at
No,
all.
no.
But it's like it's almost like you offended the client by saying this is my price, $100 for me to show up so I can assess things. You may think it's just this, but I could find other things because I've got years of experience behind me, and this isn't the first canoe trip that I've taken, so I know exactly what to do. Plus, I've got a business that's legit. So there's a lot of paperwork behind it. And so if something goes wrong, I can take care of it and other things and let you know. But that's why I'm charging you. But they don't look at it that way. They look at it like as a blue collar, I shouldn't be able to pay you. You should be grateful that I'm calling you to begin with. Well, I'm just here to say, clients, it's a vetting process. At that point, you just basically took yourself out of the equation regarding the estimate now. So go find somebody else. Go find some online quick research, hire somebody off the back of it, whatever it is, and then they'll do the job. Whether or not it's done correctly, you can take that risk.
Yeah.
A lot
And
of
I know
clients,
where I
yeah.
stand in the market. I know how much those guys are charging.
Yeah.
So it's not my price is nowhere near theirs. So you can hire me or you can hire someone else.
Under like okay, so now you're things have ramped up pretty quickly for you, Hunter. And it's like where do you see your business 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Like are you already even thinking about your exit at that point? Or it's too soon now?
Not exit, but
Growth.
implementing. Hold on, did I? What the hell's going on here?
I still see you. You're still there.
Okay, there we go. No, man, it's just like there was a notification and it like exited me out.
Someone's
Um,
someone's emailing you or something.
yes,
Could be a client asking you to come by to take a look at things for free.
I know. Sure. Come on, make the screen bigger. Come on. All right, whatever. Uh, sorry, what did you just ask me?
What did I ask you? I don't remember it now. Oh no, the future. What's in store for the future?
Oh yeah,
Because you've grown pretty quickly, right? And a lot of it probably has to do with social media and basically you just being you. So
yeah,
in the future, there's going to be more of you just being you, but it's going to grow more. And obviously, you're going to probably get a lot of kids that are going to reach out going, listen, I'm in the area. I want to work for you. I want to be on your team. I want to learn stuff. I want you to, hopefully you're expanding and you need the workforce. You need these people. So you start looking at opportunities to grow the business at that point. Is it going to be overwhelming for you to start looking at like HD Plumbers is going to be this big, 10 times bigger, 20 times bigger?
No, but I do know my limits. I've seen people grow too big, and I don't want to be that. I say this right now, but who knows what's going to happen. My goal right now is to have a solid 4 to 5 guys, hustling out in the field with me. I don't want to be an office person. If you don't see me in the field, that means I'm going to get more work. I'm going to do something else. I am not an office guy. Where I see I cannot wait to I can't wait to see what this is going to turn into in the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm implementing other businesses with HC Plumbers, and I don't want to give out too much information right now.
No.
But say one thing is I just trademarked the logo, so I kind of want to turn it into some sort of a brand. I didn't think that at first because I thought it was kind of stupid, but now I see some guys actually wearing my stuff across the United States, across the world, and it's really inspiring to see that. So I'm gonna implement that. And I want to do a few other things I got cooking up right now, and hopefully we'll have another conversation about that later. I don't want to get too
don't reveal it because I'm sure the wheels are spinning, man. I'm sure the wheels are spinning, and it's all about contributing back to the industry. and just making it more appealing to some more people that never really thought about it possibly, or maybe they're on the fence about getting into the trade and whether or not they choose plumbing or they choose another trade. It doesn't matter. But I think that a lot of this younger generation is looking towards guys like you and other people that are painting a certain kind of picture.
Yeah. The opportunities that plumbing and social media, the doors that it unlocked and even opened, it I didn't think was possible. And now it's wild to see. It really is.
Are you seeing, Hunter? Are you seeing like the plumbing industry in general? Like you were just at that show there, and we've got our Canadian version coming up in a couple of weeks as well with CMPX there. And are you seeing the manufacturers evolving at a good pace, or are they lacking regarding new product, new ideas, new innovation? What's your thoughts on that?
Some of them are. There's definitely ones that, they don't think they gotta evolve with the market and, our era. There's a few manufacturers, I don't want to mention their names, but
No, you can tell me later.
but there's definitely people like Flex Tools and people like them that, yeah, they care. And Brunt Boots. Oh my God, I forgot to mention them. They care about the people in the trades. They're trying to make the people in the trades, they're trying to make it easier for them. They're trying to say fit in the boots to make you feel good on the job. They're making better, or Flex is making better tools so it's easier, quicker, smarter. It's Yeah, there are companies working on that, and I can't believe they're actually coming to me asking, "Hey, do you have any ideas you would like to share?" And I said, "Hell yeah, man, I got tons. Where do we start?
Yep.
Do it." So yeah, yeah, there's definitely improvements here and there, but I say that there's a few manufacturers that are evolving with the market, and it's cool to see.
I just see plumbing as a whole so much potential. Like there's so much, like the unfortunate thing is that there's a lot of ways to do it sneaky, fast, dirty, get it done. It will last just enough and then it'll break down later on and we don't care kind of mentality.
Yeah, right. Just enough to make it to the warranty point,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they don't really care.
But
Yeah.
then there's other companies that will actually create a product that will probably take years and years, and if not decades, before it actually fails. And then it needs to be repaired or serviced or whatever it is, right? And I like those kinds of companies, man. It makes sense because it gets you guys, your wheels turning on about what else. And I think it's really important. I'm glad that you said that they reached out to you, asked you, what are your thoughts? Because you're boots on the ground, man. Like that's the best way to get information.
Yeah. And there's even people that install. I've witnessed this multiple times. There's people that install tankless water heaters and don't even mention that they need a yearly maintenance on them. Do
I
you
know.
realize you are fucking the customer when you leave and don't say anything about that? Because they're gonna think it's a regular tank, and guess what? A plumber's like me is gonna show up 2, 3 years later and say, "Hey, can I service this?" Unfortunately, no. Due to liability reasons, no, I can't. I can't service it because when I turn the valve off, it leaks. Or I don't know.
Is
It's crazy. People are informing people.
is it
That's the whole thing.
is that a plumber that doesn't care, or is that just a plumbing business that is not interested? If they're waiting for it to fail so they can get another call back and go, yeah, we could service it. Here's the fee attached to it. So they're just kind of give them future. Yeah, it's both, right? That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, it's both.
It kind of makes sense, right? Which brings me to ask you, I mean, are you a tankless guy or tank guy?
Um,
Where's the market going with you guys over there? I'm
well, I
assuming.
always tell people, look, it's how you use your water heater. If you're taking baths all damn day, like my mom,
Yeah.
no, you shouldn't have a tankless because you're going to be burning a lot more than what you have right now, which is a 75 gallon. You're fine with that. You're good. If you wanted to get it there quicker, put a pump on it, and that's all you need. But there's nothing wrong with tankless. I see why people love them. I would put one in my house, but I'm waiting for mine to take a crap. But yeah, it really depends on how you and your family uses water.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
can't just look at a tankless and be like, "Oh, hey, that looks modern. That looks new. Let's do that." No.
There isn't a tankless manufacturer that can give me a straight answer when I ask them about cold spurts and about like defining on demand, because there's no such thing as a constant stream of hot water continuously flowing, never stopping, always having all this extreme hot water. That doesn't exist. That's not a reality. But that's, I know they don't say it, they don't promote it that way, but that's how the customer, the clients perceive it.
Yeah, they hear it like that, right? They
Yes.
think, "Oh, on demand hot water. Oh, that means right when I open my faucets, it's
Yeah.
going to be hot,
Yeah.
right?" No, it means right when you open that faucet, it starts heated. The heat exchangers kicks on the turbo. You know what I mean? It starts heating up from the heater. You want on demand hot water, then you gotta either have a dedicated recirc line or you add a what's called a comfort series pump.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how it is.
So there's more education, and that's part of the reason why you're charging $100 to come by and have a conversation with me, because I have the education, you don't. It's as simple as that. You can use,
Yeah.
the Google plumbers out there, which is fine, but that's just a general masses of questions and answers that are maybe right, maybe wrong, mostly wrong. So why not just hire a professional in your area? I want to get into a little bit of plumbing conversation as well too. Is just like I noticed that, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the eastern side of the U.S. is mostly PVC. Is that right? But
Yeah,
yeah, but you guys are using PVC and ABS. Is that right?
mostly ABS.
Mostly
Yeah,
ABS. So why is
yeah,
California mostly ABS and then the eastern? I talk to people in New York and Boston, and they're mostly PVC, and I'm like, up here in Canada, we're using PVC underground. We're using ABS all above ground. Right. So it's just like
oh, really?
that's how we split it. So everything has to be PVC under, and then you can transition just before you come out of the ground and start connecting everything. But everything above, second floor, main floor, whatever, all ABS.
Huh,
So
that's
so
interesting.
yeah, so you guys are all ABS underground and above ground.
Yeah, and even cast iron.
God, I love cast iron, man. It's expensive, but I
Yeah,
love it. I only did one project. The client actually stipulated that I was specifically what he wanted, man. It was a sound issue. And I understood
yeah,
100% why he wanted it. And we did it. And it was hard. It was challenging for the guys who actually did it.
yeah,
Go figure. They're H2O plumbers here in Toronto, right? And they did an amazing job. And I love it, but it's just stupid expensive.
yeah. It is, and especially on apartments, I would say, yeah, definitely. At least make the riser going up cast iron. Everything else, like horizontally, whatnot, that could be ABS. But once you flush that toilet and the unit above you, you hear the shit come down. Yeah, you kind of want cast iron.
I,
But yeah, I wish we were all PVC because it is better. They're doing it right.
yeah.
But uh, yeah, ABS is what we do. We do, however, on new construction builds, if it's a custom home, we do offer that option. It is more expensive because PVC is a lot more expensive than ABS. And same with copper. We provide different options for the client. Hey, do you want to do PEX? You want to do PEX A, B? You want to do copper? Type L, not M. A lot of guys are using Type M. Even still, my
For
parents have a multi-million-dollar home, and their entire house is plumbed in Type M copper.
and
There's
code
been whole leaks going everywhere now.
code wise, it
It's
was fine to do that. They approved that.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. Uh-huh.
I remember
And they're just trying. The plumbers are just trying to save pennies to the dollar.
I mean, it's when it adds up, and it's a dramatic price difference in the overall scheme of the job. I
It does,
understand it.
but give them that option.
Yes,
Don't
they have to
just put it
decide.
in and don't say anything.
I remember
Because they're going to think they don't know there's three types of copper. They just know copper.
I did a job, and we were having a conversation, and the client wanted cast iron waste, and he knew about the sound attributed to cast iron. And then he got the plumber to submit the quote, and he's like, no, we can't go forward with this. And I still remember that when they installed the first toilet and it was above the kitchen and they flushed it, and everything's close, so the cabinets are all hiding, all the pipes, everything, all the waste is all hidden in the walls and everything like that. And clear as day, you could hear the flush go down the drain. And all of a sudden, I looked at the client, and he looked at me, and no words were expressed, and a volume of words were expressed just by these two looks at each other. And he understood that he made the wrong decision at that moment when he looked at the price, and he just said, I want it to be quiet. And I'm like, I can't afford that. Forget it. And then there goes that big mistake, because now you can't change it. You can, but it's going to be astronomical on the cost side of things like that. But that's what it is. Like you got to get plumbers that understand. You guys do a lot of homework. Like you're constantly spinning the wheels. You're doing research, whether it be at trade shows or be on social media or online, talking to other people, discovering yourself when you're doing a job and you figure out a better way, a more efficient way, a new product online. All that, you do all this homework, and the client should be grateful that you're even being willing to give up this advice. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to upsell you and steal more money from you. We're just trying to educate you that there's good, better, and best. You know what I mean? We're just showing you options here, but you can't just dismiss the best because of the dollar figure. You have to at least consider it and have a discussion and discuss it down the road. How is it going to is it going to benefit you in the long run? Is it worth it? Should you consider it? And that's what you guys do. But a lot of clients don't hear that. They always fold all those papers, go through the quote, look at the number at the very end, and they go, no, it's too high. How do we bring this down? 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 But then what's the point of having all these conversations about how to plumb better? Choose Dahl for your plumbing needs and discover the peace of mind that comes with their unwavering reliability and exceptional service. Experience the Dahl difference and join the growing community of contractors who trust in their expertise and rely on their products. Check out Dahl at www.dahlvalve.com and on social at dahlvalve.
Yeah. And I even, the very first thing I do, and I teach my guy to do that no matter what. First thing you do, you find the main shut off, you see a regulator, you test the pressure. I don't care what else you have to do in the house.
Yep.
Before you even do a damn thing, put a pressure gauge on the hose connected to the house and test the pressure, because 9 or 8 times out of 10, these jobs, all the regulators are busted. And it's a sell for us, but we're not. I always tell the customer, hey, so I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I just want to keep you informed. I try to get people, all homeowners, I advise all homeowners to go to Home Depot, go to Ferguson, and get a $5, $10 pressure gauge. And once every 6 months or a year, throw that sucker on the hose bib, see where you're at. If you're in between 45 and 79 PSI, you're good. If you're out of it, then you should replace your regulator. Or it could be an expansion tank issue. So there's that too.
Yeah, depends. Totally. I wanna ask you something.
Can I take a piss real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. We'll take a break. Don't worry. You're back.
Yeah, thank you. I was holding that in.
No, don't worry.
Hey, by the way, I love your setup, man. I love what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
It's awesome. If you ever need a guest appearance or someone else to help you interview someone else, I'm all ears.
For sure, man. For sure. I've been having a lot of plumbers lately. We've done a bunch of roundtables with plumbers. We've been doing a lot of conversations. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. I want to get into just some quick down and dirty like plumbing questions here, just to ask you your thoughts on what's the best toilet for you on the market right now these days?
The best toilet?
Toilet.
Is that what you said? Toilet? Sorry, you broke up.
Yeah, toilet.
Best toilet. Under $1,000 or
no. There's no dollar. Well, you know what? Fuck yeah, because now you're starting to get some stupid pricing, man, with Totos and Kohlers, with Numi and shit like that. It's like never in my lifetime did I ever think that you could either buy a car for $20,000 or you can buy a toilet. Up to you. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
A toilet tomorrow, that's $15,000.
Which one? What brand? Is it Toto?
Yeah.
Yeah. What, Neptune or something like that?
I have no idea. I don't even want to do them.
Well, the electronics that are attached to them. But here's the funny thing. is they talk about the flushing mechanisms are better, but I think a big part of that price tag is attached to the comfort features and aesthetics of it. You know what I mean? So it's like you're
Yeah.
paying for the look of it and all the heated seat, bidet, possible music attached to it, whatever, all kinds of like
Yeah,
fondling.
dude.
I like all kinds of shit. I don't know what
Like
the
a
hell goes
rave.
on.
It's like a concert inside the toilet, dude. It's just like shit. They got their own DJ. They got, sprays,
Lights and all kinds
speakers,
of
fans.
shit. All right, so you bring up a good point. I would say less than $2,000. What's a good toilet that you've seen that you've installed that I go, you know what? Damn, that's a good toilet.
I love. A lot of people are gonna hate me saying this, but I love Kohler.
Why are people going to hate you for saying that?
I don't know, man. A lot of people don't like Kohler.
I'm a huge fan of Kohler. Kohler's made
Yeah,
in America, by the way. Like it's made right there. All the toilets are still made there. I don't understand.
yeah, and you can get nice toilets for $200 to $400.
I agree.
Yeah,
They don't
they
use
even
flappers
have a little
anymore.
design on them for you.
They don't use flappers anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like flappers are dead and buried, except for older toilets that you're trying to maintain, and you go into your service rep and you're like, give me that flapper, give me that flapper, give me that flapper, right? But I mean,
Yeah,
flappers are dead and buried these days. So I don't know, no, man. I've always spoken highly about Kohler toilets. I love them. I think that they're
yeah,
well done. Design wise, that's personal preference, man.
yeah, yeah. There's some people that like don't want to touch the toilet seat and they just want a sensor. You can walk in and it opens and you just like do your thing.
Wow.
I mean, fuck, man, there's so many things. If I'm paying $15 or $15,000 for a toilet, that thing better be doing a lot.
I still can't, and I'm not at that price point where I'll actually order one at that price point. It makes
I
no
mean, you
sense,
can
man.
repipe your house for that much.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. It's crazy,
Stupid.
man.
It's a
No,
stupid decision.
I agree with you. I totally like them. And then you know what? Here's a funny question that I've gotten asked this question a few times by clients, right? Because they're always about space, but I think that there should be a minimum space between a wall or a vanity or something. What's the minimum for you when you're actually installing a toilet on the space to the right or left of the toilet for you?
I think code's what, 12 and a half? What's your, is it 12 and a half?
I think you're right. Here it's very similar. I think it's 12 and a half or possibly 16 on center
Yeah.
on either side, which I don't think is enough. I think you need more,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. I would do at least 14 on each side from the vanity to the wall or the tub, you know. But I mean, it goes back to how small. I mean, you're trying to turn in you you want to turn your kitchen pantry into a bathroom.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, that's that exactly. How much space do you really have at that point, right? But I mean, I'm talking about master en suites. I'm talking about where you have some geography, where you can actually make some space. But I just find that a lot of designers or homeowners are making the call like, no, make the vanity a little bit bigger. Put it closer to the toilet. Put it closer to the toilet. And I'm like, I think you want some space there. Which brings me to another point is that our clients
it is
ask,
the designers, by the way. It is the
I know it
design.
is. I totally know it is. They just think that there's no value in that toilet space being there. And I'm like, all right, fine. That's your opinion, but it's great. Where should the toilet paper roll be? Beside you, in front of you, behind you?
Besides you.
Yeah, but I mean, you get some people asking for it behind you or some people in front of you. And I'm like going, it's just a weird thing, man. It should be beside you, just in the front is what I'm thinking it should be.
I mean, it depends on what the bathroom is.
But there's always a vanity wall next to you or a wall next to you,
Right.
right? So you always have space. It's not like a toilet's just in the middle of the room. We've seen those memes. We've seen those rooms that are built. Like we've seen those, but that's not reality, right? But in a typical bathroom setup, there's always a side panel of a vanity or a wall that's next to it. So it's like you have to decide on where it is. But I just find it really strange that some designers, some homeowners think it's okay to put the toilet paper behind you. And it's just more awkward at that point. I don't get it, right? But they're also the same people that I have a constant argument about. Should the toilet paper be rolling off the front or rolling off the back?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, these are like, you know what I found? I find women want toilet paper rolling off the back. Men want it rolling off the front.
I say front. I say front.
I haven't met a man that said paper should roll off the back. I haven't met a man. But every woman always talks about it should roll off the back. And if you want to do a test, if you're dating somebody, just switch it and just watch what happens. And I guarantee you, it will either get changed. It will get changed on its own, or it will be brought up into a conversation. I guarantee you, man. That's just a little bit of trivial humor that I want to share there.
Mine actually isn't even on the wall. It's
a stand.
I got one of the toilet paper racks where you can kind of load up like a freaking potato gun.
Yeah.
you load like 5 of them up, and then you got your little roller, and you can move that wherever you want. So I kind of like that too.
That makes sense, man. Yeah. Let me ask you: Are any of your clients asking for manifolds? Are they worth it?
Or are they asking for what?
For manifolds, for water manifolds, are they worth it? No.
No one asked me for them.
They're just too expensive, right? I get it. Like, it's very few and far from here. Like, that's how people want it, the convenience to shut it down. But the problem is that now you're doing home runs from the manifold all the way there. And then now you're most likely going to have to add recirc lines to every single one to get that, when you can just tee off as you're going around through the whole house, right?
Yeah. And there's some guys, even that Roger Wakefield guy, I think I heard him say, he still likes running water in the ground, and there's got to be a reason he's saying that. I don't know what reason that is, but I like doing everything overhead.
Yeah,
I don't like putting T's or manifolds in the ground. And when you say manifold, I'm assuming you're saying like a legit manifold, like panel, right? And they all have their own shut offs.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I mean, those are cool. Yeah, they are cool, but it is too much money. It's not worth it when you can just, put T's up in the ground, run your recirc
to go there.
Better for everyone, I think.
No, I agree. I like them. I've done them before for clients, and I explain the ups and downs with it, but it's just more.
I think they look pretty cool.
Exactly. And it's the same way, is because you start seeing a lot of gas guys are doing manifolds, right? So you're shutting off all the appliances, and you have one source instead of trying to have like access panels all over the place in the basement or wherever else in the house. Like, okay, this is where I think the stove is. This is where I think the barbecue is. I think this is where the pizza oven is. I'm not sure, right? But you just make a manifold and go from there, right? It's just making it look pretty slick.
I actually haven't seen that. I would like to see how they do that with gas.
I'll send you a picture, man. I got a few HVAC guys that I've worked with. They constantly do it. They're doing it a hard pipe, threading it.
Really?
Oh yeah, and then teeing it off. But nowadays they're also pressing it. So they've gone into the world of just doing it as a pressing now, and then putting it together. Some manufacturers are actually, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some manufacturers are actually offering it as a unit, depending on how many you want. You can pre-order it, but most guys are just pressing it, or not pressing it, threading it and building it themselves, because now they can dictate exactly how much the thickness of the pipe coming in, and then how much the T is going to be going from whatever. If it's going to be like 1 inch to 3/4, 1 inch to half, or whatever it is, depending on the item, the appliance that's using it, right? So
and they're actually selling these manifolds, or the contractors kind of making one?
They're making them. They're making them beforehand, getting it all ready based on the requirements. Because the problem is that you're getting clients, it's no longer just a gas oven. It's no longer a gas fireplace. Now it's like the barbecue, the pizza oven, fireplace 1, 2, and 3, the gas range, right? Your gas dryer. Then you got a secondary unit. So now you got a gas dryer in there. So it's like you start bringing in 6, 7 gas runs, right? So you might as well just put them all in one place, label them, and then shut them off and shut them on, right? Whenever you got to service them, if you have to service them. So that makes sense, in my opinion, right? It's almost a go-to whenever we have the conversation. What's prettier, soldering or press? Now, hang on a sec. Not what's easier. What's prettier?
No, I heard you. That's a tough one, man.
This podcast is brought to you by Redmond Distributing, a proud family-owned and operated HVAC supplier, serving Ontario for the past 22 years. With warehouses conveniently located in both Mississauga and Ottawa, they specialize in providing premium HVAC and hearth equipment across the region. Redmond Distributing is committed to supporting HVAC businesses with their dedicated customer service, reliable warranties, free training sessions in their operational facility, inventory management, and free delivery to most locations in Southern Ontario. For a partnership with true HVAC equipment specialists, choose Redmond Distributing. Explore more at www.redmonddistributing.com.
it depends how pretty, it depends how good you are at soldering.
Well, see, I've seen your
My
soldering,
helper
right?
seems to think he can empty a whole half a freaking roll on a half inch freaking 90. I'm like, no, 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 no. You want to do the Pro Press, dude? You're gonna make that shit look clean, and then I will buy you a Pro Press. That's how it's worked.
Yeah.
There's some companies around here that I heard they don't even let their guys solder.
Why
And
not?
it must be for a liability reason, like say maybe a helper burned down something, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but I look at it as that's a liability of itself. I mean, if you don't know how to solder, dude, that scares the shit out of me.
That's an
I would
issue.
I would never
That's an
ever say
issue.
that to one of my guys.
I know. You need to learn that. Doesn't matter how you think that the industry is going to go one way and everything. You think that the industry is always going to be pressing. It's just
Yeah,
everything's going to be pressed. No, you're going to come across certain homes or certain properties, certain commercials that you have to solder. You have no other choice but to solder. So if you don't know how to do it, you better learn how to do it. Find out how,
yeah,
and do it sweet too, right? I ain't talking
yeah,
about
exactly.
Christmas tree, Mercury Christmas tree or something like that. I ain't, you got to clean. I've seen your soldering. Your soldering is clean. That's why I came up with the question: is it pretty? Which one's prettier, right? Like I get the convenience of pressing, but is it pretty? I'm not exactly sure I could say that it's pretty. You know what I mean? If it was a dating game, it would probably be the third person being chosen. You know what I'm saying? Like the soldering is going to be the first one on the date. That's what's going to be happening. But I think there's still a skill and an art to proper soldering.
Yeah, I would say, to be honest, I would say press looks prettier, but coming from me, um, if I soldered an entire thing and it was, how I want to solder, then yeah, I'm gonna look at that and say, yeah, it's way more prettier because I put more time into it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay. I was just curious about that. Um, what else? I wanna figure out what other trades are doing things to make your trade harder. And I'll give you an example. I'm a big fan of using engineered lumber in shower applications to assist tile setters. I think all those studs in a shower application should be true plumb, perfectly plumb. So it gives you guys also the opportunity to line up exactly where those shower valves are supposed to be on that depth and everything like that. So you're not fighting with crown outs and crown twisted, all kinds of crap, and dealing with factoring in your pressing or soldering or pressing your pecs with twisted lumber shit. So I'm trying to figure out what trades out there are making your trade more challenging by not stepping
uh
up their game.
yeah. Probably electricians because they leave such a damn mess all over the place.
You're not
No,
the
not
first.
actually. I mean, I have had times where I'm running a drain and I'm like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? There's like 10 wires going through where I need to go. So what the hell are we gonna do, man? So I think electricians, tile guys. I've seen tile guys take out my shower cap because I always put them on, and
Yeah.
it's for you, tile guy.
Yeah.
So know to not cover it. They'll end up taking it off and tile right over it. I'm like, oh my god. Well, so what are we gonna do, bud? Because I ain't telling the customer I didn't do it.
Yeah. They just want to cut around it.
That's why I take photos on everything. I use an app called Company Cam. I've been using it for years.
Yep.
And shit like that. I'll take a picture of it before I take off, before the tile guy comes in, and it protects yourself.
It's a good move, man.
Yeah.
You ever here's a thought. You ever teach the younger trades that are coming in that there's an actual ideal spot a faucet is supposed to pour its stream into a drain? You know what I'm talking about here?
Sort of.
So you get a lot of designers that were like, that's the perfect faucet. That's the perfect sink. But that's not going to create the perfect stream. So when you turn on the faucet, that stream of water is not going to land where it's supposed to land, and it's going to create all this backsplash. You know what I'm talking about? So you have to be aware of where that stream's going to go. I don't care how pretty that faucet is, and I don't care how small, shallow, wide trough sink is. If it
Yeah.
doesn't work in conjunction with where the drain is and where that stream is supposed to hit, it's going to be a problem in the future when someone actually uses this. So I keep reminding clients and also younger trades, there's a function behind all the plumbing fixtures. And you can't just solely rely on the beauty of these fixtures. You have to understand the function behind these fixtures. So that's why I always have a conversation that there's a sweet spot, whether it's either just before the drain or just after the drain. There's a sweet spot there that that stream is supposed to hit when you open up that faucet, and it will give you the minimum amount of splash.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I actually didn't even think about that really until I moved into my house, and they got these wide, shallow sinks,
Mm-hmm.
and the faucet coming out is short and low. I'm like, dude, I'm like, what am I doing? How do I?
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I mean by
So
that, right?
I didn't change both of them, but I at least changed the main one we use. Um, just to, when I'm brushing my teeth, I can actually put my face underneath the spout, and I'm not, getting my face caught in the drain and shit.
I know what you're talking
So
about, man.
yeah, that actually is a good point.
I always bring it up. I always talk about it. It's always nice to have a conversation with designers with that because it's just like a deer in the headlights. They don't have any idea. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't realize that we're thinking about that because that's
Yeah,
the
they
first
just
thing.
think anything's possible, and
It's just simple. Yeah, just don't turn on the valve all the way. Then just so then well, I don't know a homeowner who just turns on part of that valve. They always crank it right to the full. So that's another thing. But I mean, if you were to tell somebody right now, and your experience dealing with clients all the time, what's the one thing that that client is looking for from you as a tradesperson, but as tradespeople in general? What's the one thing that they look at and go, this is the kind of person I want doing work on my home?
trust.
Just be honest about it and share and understand that I'm building a trust with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you want to showcase your work and, prove you can do what you do. But at the end of the day, it's how you treat the people and how you talk to them. Anyone can plumb, dude. Not anyone can talk to people and, know the business side of things. And that's really tough.
I would say anyone can learn to plumb.
Yeah.
Right, because that's still a skill in itself, right? But you're right, 100%. Like not anyone can speak to somebody. People have a hard time communicating with people, and there's still an art
People
there.
can't even look at the customer in the eye.
I know.
That's a huge turnoff to most people.
Yeah, I know.
If you don't shake their hand,
Yeah,
that's a huge turnoff. Or even if you go to shake their hand and they're a germaphobe or they're all about the COVID, and they're like, "No, I don't like you anymore." You're like, "Okay, well, I'm just trying to be respectful."
you're just trying to be a tradesperson. You're trying to be a reputable person. Just you're trying to be honest about what you want to share, and that's it, man. So
Yeah, we're here to help. I mean, if the second you try to take advantage of me is when I'm gone, man.
yeah, and most tradespeople have been in those situations. They can smell it. So then I've had my share where I've been quoting jobs and I say, listen, guys, this is not good for me. Like I'm going to pass on this. I'll recommend somebody else, but I'm not going to be, I'll pass on this. And then they get all upset about it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I didn't run over your puppy. I didn't do anything. I just explained to you that I don't want to work with you. Simple as that. It's not a good fit. I've been down this road before, so I'll move on out of the way. Good to meet you. Take care. Simple as that, man. I'm not being offensive.
And you really need to be careful on how you word that too, because
100%.
like you said, they can get pissed,
Understand.
and that pissed off customer is going to be like, "Oh, what was your Google fucking review
Oh,
page
I
again?"
know that whole world. Yeah, we need a
Yeah.
Google review for clients. That's what we need. That's
Oh,
what needs to be grown
100%.
and populated, man. Hunter, I
I
got
only use Yelp. I don't even use Yelp to promote my business. I literally have it open to whoever wants to is not happy with me. They can go to Yelp.
Hunter. It's been a pleasure. I got to do the 12 questions with you, man. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me just share. Hang on a sec. HD Plumbers. You can find him on Instagram under at HD Plumbers. Also, his email is hd.plumbers5225 at gmail.com. Find him all over social. 951-544. Sorry, 951-545-1679. What's your favorite construction word?
I would say hack.
Hack.
Yeah, been hearing that one a lot lately.
Lately? Is it? I guess it's pluralized. Eh? They always assume there's more than one hack on a job site.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite tool?
I would say square head screwdriver, just
Square,
because I never,
a Robbie?
is that what they're called?
Yeah, square. Yeah,
I don't
Robbie.
even know what they're called. I literally had to look that up this morning,
It's a
and I was like,
Robinson.
I hope I'm saying this right.
Yeah. It's a Robinson, a Robbie. It's a Robinson. It's a Canadian design, Canadian invented. That's why we all know it. We all use them up here.
Yeah, I've never used one, or
We,
I've used like the square head bit for like a impact,
yes.
but not an actual screwdriver. And I rarely see it. It's everything for us is flathead, Phillips, and the star bit.
Yeah, everything's all getting Torx, Star, or Phillips. But I thought
Yeah,
flathead was disappearing screw wise. Flathead's being used for other things.
I just see it on like for ground wires.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's the first time someone said a Robbie. Well, it's called a Robbie. And then you got number one Robbie, number two Robbie, number three Robbie. Your go to construction screw is number two. Robbie number two. R2. It actually says R2 on the bit.
That's so funny. I get why they use them because they probably don't strip. Huh?
Well, they don't strip until you give it to the new guy, and then he strips it, and then that's it. It's
Yeah.
done at that point. It takes one time, and it's done.
Yeah.
What construction sound do you love?
Solder, pro press, grinder, and either hammer or jackhammer
What's
and
your,
welder.
what's your
There's
favorite?
a bunch of sounds. I love them all.
You love them all. What's your favorite beverage?
Water, Gatorade, and sometimes beer when I can drink one.
Turn ons and off in construction. Well, you already shared that earlier.
Yeah, the off people. What turns me on is everything about it.
What's your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word is get fucked or eat a dick.
Favorite vehicle? Any?
Get me back on that one.
Eat a dick is a good one, man. That's almost should be a period nowadays, man. Just have a conversation. Just eat a dick, man. Favorite vehicle in the entire world? Any mode of transportation?
I gotta say my truck, man.
Yep.
My truck. Yeah.
What is it? A Dodge Ram? What? 3500?
It's a 2500.
2500. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you miss from your childhood?
Sports, dude. Baseball.
Not
Baseball,
doing any of it these days?
Volleyball, I miss it.
No, not doing any of it these days.
Nice, nah. I got too many injuries. I got a torn shoulder. I gotta have surgery on that.
Ouch.
I can't. So
And it doesn't help that you're turning the wrench every day.
no, it doesn't.
No. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt one day?
Entertainment, music. I said baseball, football. No, not that. Possibly acting.
Yep.
I don't know. Music is. I love music, man.
Nice.
I really do.
Nice. What profession do you not want to do?
Drain cleaning,
Oh, yeah.
roofing, concrete, real estate, being a landlord, interior design, interior painting.
Got a list, man. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I got a list.
Last question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at those pearly gates?
Pearly gates, I love that. What up, dog? Party starts now. You did exactly what I wanted you to do, and now you can rest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hunter, absolute pleasure having you on the show, man. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy and you got a lot of stuff going on, but thank you so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
thanks for having me, dude. I really appreciate it,
Been
and
blessed.
I hope we can do it again.
Love to.
Again soon.
Love to again, man. You guys are a special breed, and I got a lot of respect for plumbers. I got respect for a lot of the trades, most of the trades, but you guys are a special breed. You guys do good work, so keep it up.
Thank you.
And then
I
keep
appreciate
teaching.
that.
Also, keep teaching, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Where can we find this video, by the way? Is it posted anywhere?
It's going to get posted probably early next week. You'll get shared on YouTube and Rumble. So the video will be there, and then the audio will be on all the podcast channels. So you pick whatever one that you're listening to, and then we're on the 11 different channels. Obviously, we're on the go-to Spotify and iTunes, but yeah, you can totally find them there. They'll all be there. So early next week, you'll see it. I'll send it off to you, and then you'll have it. And then that's it, man. I think we're all done.
All right, man.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it.
Don't go anywhere yet. Hang on one sec. Angelina, we're